Welcome everybody. Proceeding on to game number 2 in the best of 3 match series from the Assembly Summer 2011 tournament. Jimpo of Team Inferno Esports facing off as the Red Terran in the bottom left position against the aggressive Protoss himself, LiquidHuK, of course, of Team Liquid in the bottom right position. So, game number 1, very exciting matchup. Obligatory spoiler comments. What a play by Jimpo, man. Completely faking out Huck, making him think he was going to be going for that 1-Rax expand, or not 1-Rax expand. I think the gas could have kind of given it away there that Huck saw, but still, hiding that second barracks, absolutely brilliant. So Jimpo currently up 1-0 against Huck. We'll see what he does. Tal'Darim Altar, I think, is going to be a little bit more in Huck's comfort zone. The chances of seeing the same strategy a little bit less, but still, nonetheless, it could happen again. We'll wait and see. Very macro-oriented style of play. And I know I said that last map, the spawning positions were geared towards a macro game, and I mean, technically they are. When you take Metalopolis, take the spawning variations, out of all of the ones that you had there, that was the most likely to have a longer game. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Very abrupt ending, thanks to Jimpo's brilliant execution of that fake-out strategy. Now, we're going to be watching Huck here as he's opening up, again, with a fairly standard play. We're going to be looking for some signs to kind of see if he's going to be going for an early expansion. If he is, we most likely see him do what he did in game number 1, which was that 1-gate double gas expand. You saw he went for that sentry and the stalker, and then immediately after the 2 sentries, which worked out pretty well for him. Right up until the point that he got hit in the face with a bunch of Marines and Marauders. But overall, it's a fairly solid strategy. So definitely has its place here. As let's actually look at the Terran player right now. We have LiquidHuK's probe scouting it out. What do we see, folks? We see no gas. All right. Well, the probe is going to be hanging around for as long as he can, which is not going to be much longer, as since that barracks just about done with that Marine. Huck, of course, aware of the timing. You can pretty much just watch it and see for yourself as you're scouting around. He knows something's going to be happening here along the lines of an expansion. I mean, again, the signs are there. No gas, 1 barracks. We see, of course, the money is accumulating. That orbital command is complete, so we're going to see that money chop up there really quickly. 2 Marines, again, just denying scouting. He's checking around for the pylon. He's a little worried, maybe about some sort of proxy position that could have been, oops, I accidentally, the whole pylon, you know, nice little play by Huck. But in the meantime, we'll just continue to let these guys build up, do their own thing. We see that chrono boost on the gateway. The SCV, of course, popped in, and let's spot what Jimpo is seeing, shall we? Let's see. He is seeing pretty much accurate information. Don't think he actually saw the chrono boosted Stalker there, but looks like he's actually opting to get a second Stalker before the Sentry. I mean, the thing about the Sentry on Metalopolis versus this particular match is you've got a lot more ground to cover, and if you can get out an extra Stalker too for harassment, it'll be a lot more effective than dumping money into those sentries and trying to guard a wider ramp than we had on Metalopolis. Now you see here Jimpo, he's working on his expansion. He's got the bunker up for Marines, solid defensive investment there. Really not a lot that Huck can do about this. I mean, what is there to do? Huck, coming into this, he knows, okay, there's an expansion there. Probably just continuing to build up, you know, his infrastructure in the main base. We see several different additional barracks. So I think Huck can kind of figure out where the Terran player is going with this. Now, looking back at his base, you see that he did delay that second assimilator, which, again, is another reason why he went with those Stalkers. Going for the sentries, like I said, it's a little bit more effective on maps where you have those tight ramps, and those force fields can be a lot, a lot more efficient. But here, if you try to go for the same thing, walling off, it's not going to be that great. Now, here we have this Huck trying to pull out a couple Marines. You see he did a good job of kind of poking in, harassing a little bit, but wasn't able to really nail a whole bunch of damage. He did get 2 kills. That's about it. You see 2 Marines lying quite dead there on the ground. So what can Jimpo do really at this point? Well, if he wanted to, he could just go ahead and continue macroing up, take a, take another expansion a little bit later down the road, pretty much just continue on with the standard bio play that is Terran versus Protoss, Marauder, Medevac, some Vikings, depending on if you see Colossi, anything like that. Really, Jimpo is poised to go into whatever tech he wants to, which, I mean, at this point we know is bio. But there's also, again, the harassment from Huck. He's trying to do some damage, again, pretty much the point of this is just to kind of keep Jimpo a little bit off his game, just a tiny bit. Anything that HuK can do to sort of upset the comfort level over here. You see he's forcing an SCV to repair, spend some money, and basically it's not costing HuK anything, although with these Marines coming out here, oh, he's going to have to watch out for that, as Jimpo looks like he is going to be moving out once again. He is suffering some pretty nice damage. These Stalkers are actually really starting to take effect here. If he can consistently harass this force on the way, delay some additional units over here as well, cut down the potency of this attack, then I think it'll work really well in HuK's favor. We can look and just see at the income right now, 32 to 36. As far as the army goes, we see HuK still not sitting in really a great spot, but he does have enough energy for several force fields here, which we will drop, enough to take out several SCVs who are unfortunately for him isolated from the rest of the group. This poor Marine's just sitting there. Go the long way around! Go! And yes, of course, so now we do have once again HuK getting ready to attack. Using those Stalkers, man, he's doing such a fantastic job with these, keeping the Terran on his toes out here, pulling him away from the natural expansion, and giving himself enough time to just build up. You see, unfortunately, he is supply blocked. Taking a quick look down at his base, robotics facility, forge, everything is looking dandy. We do have 3 gateways there, which is pretty appropriate considering this point in time, and several more Stalkers actually heading out, which I think is a very smart move. Oh, this might not be so smart. One Stalker getting taken out right off the bat as he still tries to approach. But this is HuK right here at his finest, using this small number of Stalkers and just harassing the hell out of these Marines. And so that's precisely what he's doing. He's trying to pick off 1 or 2 units at a time, but not do so much damage that it draws the attention of Jimpo's entire army. And you see, when he does that, he kind of falls back and continues on with the harassment as applicable. Now, what can Jimpo do to this? The biggest thing right now is exactly what he is doing. Marauders, concussive shells upgrade. That will really punish this style of harassment that we're seeing from HuK here as he continues to work on what will soon be his 3rd base here. Look at his money. He is sitting on so many minerals right now. Also, decent bit of gas as well. But you see the supply tab has definitely closed the gap a little bit. 80 to 78 there as the Protoss checks. Okay, no expansion there at the 3rd. Going to continue on hanging out in the middle, and now he has that observer. This will give him that crucial scouting information about timings of the attacks, layouts of the defense, and more importantly here, it looks like HuK is going to be trying once again to draw out his opponent, see if he can pick off any more Marines, but again, with those Marauders there, he sees those, he's like, there's no way that I'm going to really be able to have the same amount of freedom of movement as I did 5 minutes ago. The risk is just too great. Now, of course, HuK coming up here with the Observer in the backside. He is going to be spotting, all right, bioplay, pretty much everything he expected to see, giving the unit composition that he spotted at the front gate. Also, there's the factory going down. We can expect a starport here coming fairly soon as medevacs complement this force extremely well. Of course, like I also said before, we could expect to see a transition into Vikings depending on what HuK does with his robotics facility. We're going to see Colossi? Yes. Okay. Vikings. If not, no. All right. Either way, Jimpo is going to be moving out. Again, a very strong force here, but let's compare it to what HuK has at this point. 1 Colossus, which just popped out, yep, right there, and he does have the range upgrade. Oh, it's about 3/4 complete. That would have been done by now. But again, HuK is moving out with his Stalkers. You see, he's going to be trying to go for that same attempted harassment. Of course, this Marine is a prime target. HuK's just kind of leaving these forces there like, yeah, you know what? I know you see me, but that's all right, because I'm going to kill you and take the tower anyways. More importantly, though, let's actually take a look at the weapons and armor upgrades. Nothing for the Protoss player just yet. We do have a Twilight Council on the way, though. So looking forward to some charge. Very effective charge lots in this matchup. And also, 3rd expansion well underway as HuK maybe looks to move out. I don't think he's going to be really fully committing to this attack, though. Again, he doesn't have a lot of zealots. He doesn't have that charge upgrade. He's going to be, at best, able to do some damage to these Marines. And, yeah, this is kind of what I figured right here. Not really wanting to fully commit to this type of attack. Again, those Marauders, you see, they have stim. They can come in here and snipe this Colossus. They can snipe off a lot of these Stalkers. And the force fields can go down, but that's going to be about it. So HuK again going with that harassment style of play, just enough damage to kind of piss off Jimpo a little bit. But look at how Jimpo's responding. He's got 2 medevacs full of Marines running down there. Oh, kill team coming in for the shot. Will they be able to kill it? No. Colossus does survive. And now HuK looks like he's going to be committing to this attack once again. Force fields surrounding the bunker as the dropships are heading over towards HuK's base. But look at this. All these SCVs were cornered in by the force fields. Fantastic play by HuK, nailing so much of Jimpo's economy there. Wow, what a hit. So let's follow this attack now as it gets ready to land in what looks like HuK's main base. We'll see if he's going to veer into the mineral line. It's a very interesting placement for a Twilight Council, by the way. That's unique, I'll say that. So, Jimpo, attack. Looks like it's well underway here, as the minimap looks like HuK is going to be spelling out TL. Oh, HuK, that's why we love you. Oh, so much. Nice little probe retreat there, but unfortunately he's going to be walking right into the death trap. But just in time, the liftoff saves him from the Colossi now, as he's looking to attack the expansion. Nope, not going to happen. He is forced to retreat. Don't have the blink upgrade, so he's not going to be able to catch these on the way down. But, fairly clean getaway, though. So anyways, that's what I'm talking about, that TL. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So overall, this game, we see the units lost 2850 to 2225, resources lost rather. Income currently, Terran still hurting pretty bad. We could just see the workers lost 11 to 21. So see how this progresses. A Stargate is on the way. Maybe we'll see a mothership. Maybe. Oh, one can only hope here, and Lord knows HuK would be the one to do it. So Jimpo moving out, we have that Viking response, pretty typical. And HuK, he's got good awareness here in the battlefield. Got observers littered pretty much all around. He's got control of the key watchtowers here. And another drop coming down from Jimpo, as it looks like he's also dropping down here in the main base as well. Working on taking out, well, just kind of dropping at this point, not really actually focusing down anything. Marauder Force, you see, is just kind of hanging around the middle of the map, maybe looking for any opportunity to pop in. Unfortunately for him, though, not really going to have that exact chance, as this drop still looking pretty effective, man. A lot of these probes were able to be saved, so that's good. The power was shut off down here. Somebody definitely did not pay the power bill, or at least the reserves, as we have one pylon being built to replace what was down here. So, general tip, this is going to be the obvious tip of the game. Don't power this many structures with one pylon, just as a general, unless you're HuK, and you can get away with it if you're HuK, but anybody else, don't do that. So we see now he's got that blinker upgrade just about complete. If he had had it 10 seconds earlier, he could have actually came in here and sniped off a couple of these Vikings, which were fairly unsecure in the middle of the map. But income now, as a result of those attacks, 87 to 63. HuK has so many workers right now. His economy is looking absolutely incredible. Of course, he's going to be transferring over here, so we're going to take a look at that in just a moment as soon as his economy actually settles. But losing the gas, pretty substantial deal there. Also have Phoenix on the way, which, of course, pretty much good against countering the Vikings, lifting off any additional forces as well. Now, look at what we have here. HuK decided to go ahead, place a proxy pylon out here in the middle of the map, basically sandwiching himself between this expansion, which is fully loaded with SCVs. Ooh, Planetary Fortress, though. Gotta have to watch out when he assaults that. And another command center up here being built. So, a little bit of a risky expansion to take that one way up there, but nonetheless, security through obscurity, maybe. HuK taking out that dropship over there, putting that Phoenix to work. So, yeah, we'll see exactly how many Phoenix he decides to grab. He is also building a Templar Archives. Very, very important here. The transition. Of course, you got to watch out for those. Vikings. If he gets too many of them, those Colossi are effectively going to be toast super quick. So let's look at the army composition now. We can see 18 Stalkers, 10 Zealots, 6 Colossi, several Sentries as well, with a lot of energy built up. So that is going to be good for battlefield manipulation. But, you know, Jimpo, man, he's got these tons of Marauders with 2 weapons upgrade. They are going to be able to do tons of damage to these armor units. We'll see how these Colossi are positioned here with the Vikings. That's going to be the big thing here until HuK decides to go ahead and bring down some of those High Templars. You can see he is supply blocked. Then, oh, Zealot just charging. Wow, that was one hell of a charge, man. Did you see that just going all the way around, double back? It was like he's trying to run into the command center, just like an infiltration unit or something. Well, let me know how that works out for you, buddy. I don't really know how that's going to go, but if it does, more power to you. So as far as HuK goes, pretty much at this point, he is just banking so much money. You see he's working on infrastructure right now. As the Stalkers come dangerously close to getting attacked by those Marauders, he's going to have to watch out. Oh, but here come the Ghosts now for Jimpo. Once those come in here and hit the Protoss Death Ball, things are going to get a little dicey. The Vikings moving out once again, hoping to catch these off guard. Meanwhile, there is harassment up here at this 4th base for Jimpo. Oh, things are looking pretty close down here as well. Once again, Vikings hoping to pick off some extra damage against the Colossi. And looks like he's actually going to be defending the TL. Will he be able to hold it? HuK taking a lot of damage, leaving the Colossi exposed here. Vikings taking off one of those right off the bat. Second one is dangerously close. Only a few hit points. Yes, indeed, going down as the TL logo is just annihilated. Oh, that is just the travesty of this game. So very sad. But the Sentries coming in from behind, doing some nice force fields here. Nice little L shape. Not quite enough to completely sandwich them, but we see with plenty of Stalkers here and more units, I think, on the way. Or did he already warp those in? No, guess not. But it looks like Jimpo is able to take command of the midfield here. Again, HuK has some very impressive production capabilities, though, and that's what we're going to have to watch for here. He does have hallucination just about complete. That, of course, can be used in a variety of situations. Also, with the Colossus on the way, oh, this expansion could go down, folks. That is a lot of Marauders right there. Many, many Marauders. Left side. Handle it. Ghost as well. Gateway is getting sniped off one by one. Definitely have some action up here as well as we see, well, okay, maybe the lack of action. A couple of HuK's units just kind of hanging around here, just out of range of the Planetary Fortress. But this expansion just about go down, and it does. HuK's income suffers a pretty brutal hit there, but still 88 to 61. And here comes the army. Tons of charge lots have just been warped in a moment or two ago. This could completely change it. Oh no, both medevacs going down. All of those Marauders lost, not able to do any damage to pay for themselves there at the last few seconds. Oh, wow, nice play by HuK. All that's left at this point, just a few Vikings for Jimpo. His expansion up here, of course, is effectively locked down by this one Stalker and the threat of the two Zealots who were just giving these glaring, menacing looks to their SCV counterparts running around. HuK taking another expansion, actually double expanding right now. He's got to reclaim that one, plus taking one in the top right, doing a little long-distance mining there. You go, HuK. SCVs, unfortunately for Jimpo, are being transferred back down. Now we can see the economy now not looking so hot for Jimpo. 93 probes for HuK. Seriously, man, this guy is just all about the economy. I think what he wants to do is just get tons and tons of structures and just have the money to support several warp-ins, throw the units at his opponent. Well, not really throw them, but the next closest thing, oh, the most important thing of the game, he rebuilds the TL. Oh, HuK. Oh, HuK. Jimpo moving out once again. Looking at the watchtower, sees those Zealots, sees opportunity. He is going to be able to claim that high ground. Now, what can HuK do about it at this point? Couple of Mortals here in the lineup. Several High Templar littered around the map. Let's actually see if we can spot those. There are the Immortals. I'm sure the High Templar are running around. It looks like they are. We could see some Psystorms, possibly feedback on one or two of these medevacs. The energy is climbing pretty close to a one-shot kill. But time is running out here for Jimpo. You see he does have two fresh expansions. We'll see what happens as HuK looks like he's going to be moving across midfield. Several Ghosts on the way. Of course, the Stalkers able to get some shots on the Viking first. Oh, man, nice blink at the last second. Whew. Jimpo still 163 to 199. I don't really feel like he is in a very comfortable spot right now. He just does not have the income to really support the army trade-offs that we're going to be seeing here. Oh, man, Archon's on the way. Ghosts as well. This could be it, folks. I don't know. We are just past the 26-minute mark. Nice feedback on the Ghost, preventing the EMPs there, and following up with several Psystorms blanketing the army. HuK trying to push forward here into what was the natural expansion. Will he be able to do it, though? A lot of these infantry are very low on hit points. Here comes the Archons, and nice blink from HuK. Not quite able to push it through. He is going to suffer the loss of that Immortal, but at this point, look at the game situation overall. He has denied this expansion. This expansion is out of money. Where can Jimpo expand that is safe? Really not a lot of places. He could take out these rocks, which would be close to this, but pretty much HuK has effectively isolated his opponent from that rest of the map, keeping him down in this bottom left corner with the vision from the pylons, the random units littered throughout the map. Very effective, I guess you call it passive-aggressive map control there. As Jimpo, I think, is slowly starting to realize, well, not starting to realize, but has for some short time here, that he has got to affect some major change on this battlefield, or else it's going to be a loss, man. HuK just has such a commanding lead here. It's still a 30 food supply. Nice EMP hitting about half the forces there. Still, Stalkers coming in from the rear. Nice meetup on the attack here by HuK. Oh, so many Archons. Such great counters against those biological units that we see. And with the 3 weapons upgrade, you'll see 47 damage to biological as the Zealots continue to give pursuit. Jimpo is forced to fall back towards the natural expansion, where he could be hoping to hold out for a final stand until he is able to get his feet back on the ground with the economy that he does have. We can just see the income. It's about 1,900 to 1,600. But look at the Harvesters now. It's 61 to 105 probes. It's a madhouse here today, folks, on Tal'Darim Altar. Absolutely wonkers. With, yes, I just said, HuK, what are you doing? Probes don't belong in the fight. No. Well, I guess if he needs to get rid of some probes, it's certainly a good way to do it. Looks like he's trying to get in here, press ahead with the probes heading in first, just going into the base, doesn't even care about life, throwing down pylons, and more pylons. Oh, the pylon infiltration unit looks like it was a success. You see he's able to build inside of the main base. Crazy, man. More probes running in. Where does it end, folks? Where does it end? Apparently it ends right there for that poor Marine midfield, even with 2 medevacs not able to save him from the furious, frenzied furor of the HuK Zealots. HuKlots, as we shall call them. So this scan, I think, is kind of giving him the idea that he is locked in for the count. Especially when you consider the fact that now HuK's proxy pylon has effectively completed, and Zealots are starting to warp in, continuing with the probes, taking out those depots and everything around it. Oh, what can Jimpo do? What can any man do? All he can really hope to do is repair and run with the little bit of money that he has, as HuK looks like he's going to be closing off his opponent with a pylon wall. I guess that is one way to ensure that you can warp in units very close to the front lines, if not completely behind them, as we see here. Jimpo continuing to lose his base to the might of the Zealot army. Going to be taking out the armory. Don't see anything building, no research upgrades, nothing of that sort. At this point, Jimpo is pretty much locked to what he has right now, dropping down a couple additional depots right there, trying to make up for the deficit that is 123 over 121. Having lost this economy, or this income right here, he is now knocked down to about 650 per minute. 34 to 76 Harvesters. Look at the units lost here. 33,350 resources combined. APM, of course, 196 to 266. Unfortunately, all we've been missing so far is a heart-shaped Q from a probe. This looks like it could be another attack here from HuK. Maybe just kind of whittling them down. It looks like it's actually going to be the final push now. I do apologize. That's going to be it from Jimpo, and there's the GG. One hell of a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Jimpo knocked down on Tal'Darim Altar, taking the series to 1-1 after a thoroughly entertaining play from LiquidHuK. All right, guys, let's go on to game number 3 and hope that we have an ending as epic as this.